I have a bad feeling about George Lucas, Master.
What are you talking about, Obi-Wan?
Apparently he's made the Force scientific, Master.
Well, the Force is a real thing, Obi-Wan. It must be scientific.
Yes, but Master, before there were never midichlorians, and now there are.
Obi-Wan, your Force betray you. Be mindful. George Lucas is the reason for all these brilliant movies, after all.
Yes, Master, I know, but before the Force was quite magical. It was a mystery to be imagined by the young.
Well, for everything you don't like about the prequels, you could say about the originals.
Oh, I don't think so.
Alright, then why don't lightsabers project light onto the actors, Obi-Wan?
But Master, this is an unfair criticism. At the time they did not have the technologies to do what they can in modern media.
Well, if you want to talk scientific, explain to me this horrible kick Mark Hamill does, Obi-Wan. It's clearly not a scientific, realistic kick.
But Master, that's not Mark Hamill's fault. That is the direction of George Lucas.
Be mindful, Obi-Wan. Nothing can be perfect. The prequels are pretty good on their own, if you ask me.
Yes, but they're not perfect.
Neither are the originals.
Well, they are to me.
What about Luke and Leia being brother and sister?
Oh, Master, that is such a cliché.
Well, if you're into that sort of thing.
Master, that's gross.
Can we just agree that the originals and the prequels both have their faults, but they are both still excellent movies by George Lucas?
Yes, all right. But what about the sequels, Master?
Oh, here we go again, Obi-Wan.
No, Master, it's true. The way they handled those movies were horrendous.
Well, look, it makes sense to me.
Master, we're talking about the same company that keeps stabbing these characters and bring them back to life. You never got that.
Yes, but that may be true. But you must understand, Obi-Wan. Dave Filoni also brought back Darth Maul, which was also greenlit by George Lucas.
Yes, but that was brilliantly done, Master. Yes, all right. Perhaps it's true that Darth Maul returned and it was unnecessary, but they did it in the best way, Master, whereas Disney are doing such a terrible job.
Like I said before, nothing's perfect, Obi-Wan. I could do this all day.
Well, explain Rey, Master. Why is she so powerful? It doesn't make any sense.
It may not have been planned, but it does make sense in the end. She is a Palpatine.
No, Master, I'll have to disagree with you. They made Rey super powerful, and then they tried to say she was a nobody in The Last Jedi.
But they corrected themselves, Obi-Wan.
But Master, don't you see? They only made her a Palpatine because they needed Palpatine back because they killed off Snoke.
Well, I happen to like all of Star Wars, Obi-Wan.
This is why you're not on the council. You just can't see it the way it is, can you?
It's not that I can't see it, Obi-Wan. I'm just more relaxed than you are.
What's your opinion on Kylo Ren? He's the only one I actually kind of like.
He's a really well-written character, Obi-Wan. I must say, he's probably one of the best well-written characters.
Although I like his character, I wouldn't say it's well written. In the first one, he's trying to be just like his grandfather. In the second one, he's trying to, let the past die, kill it if you have to, in his own words. And then in the third film, he's trying to make Rey join him.
What's wrong with that, Obi-Wan?
Well, he just seemed all over the place, if you ask me. I mean, make a decision. Do you want to be like your grandfather? Do you want to eliminate everyone in your life? Do you want to, bring Rey to the dark side? I mean, make one decision and stick with it.
You're misunderstanding the character, Obi-Wan. That's the whole point of the character. In the first film, he wants to be like his grandfather because he wants to embrace the dark side. In the second film, the reason why he's trying to let go and let the past die is because that's the only way he can let go of the light. And by the third movie, he wants Rey to join him because he feels all alone.
Since you have an excuse for everything, what's your excuse for the way Luke was written in the sequels, Master?
I think Luke is in character.
That might be the most ridiculous thing you've said all night.
Obi-Wan, you just don't understand. You see, in the prequels, it's all about how the Jedi fell. And then in the originals, it's about how you can fix it. So in the sequels, it's about explaining why the Jedi fell in the first place.
Master, I don't understand you. So you're telling me Luke trying to kill his grandson is a way of showing how the Jedi failed?
Yes, from a certain point of view.
From a certain point of view, I might use that one day.
Haven't you noticed that Ben does the exact same thing that Anakin does in Order 66?
Well, no, but that's just probably Disney taking ideas from George.
Haven't you noticed that Anakin was the one who told Rey to bring balance in Rise of Skywalker?
Yes, but it should have been Anakin, not Rey.
The sequels is about Anakin choosing Rey.
No, it's not. Since when do we actually see Anakin choose Rey in the movie?
It's from Rey's point of view. We don't see Anakin choose Rey because when she touches Anakin's lightsaber, she sees all these voices and visions. It's supposed to be from Rey's point of view, Obi-Wan.
Well, why doesn't Anakin just tell Rey in person that he's chosen her?
What was her reaction after the lightsaber touch, Obi-Wan? She was freaked out. She did not want to even go and be a Jedi after that.
Yeah, well,
how do you think she would react if a Force ghost Anakin Skywalker suddenly materialized in front of her and told her that he's chosen her to save the entire galaxy?
Well, yes, I guess you're right. That probably would freak her out a little bit.
If you carefully watch these movies, Obi-Wan, the answers are all there.
But, Master, they did a horrible job explaining these things in the first place. Even if it is true, they did such a horrible job. They had to make books to try to explain some of it.
Obi-Wan, you know what I'm going to say.
Yes, Master, it may be true that nothing is perfect in this life, but that is not a valid excuse of bad writing.
It may be bad writing, and I will admit that myself. You see, I don't think they did a good job portraying the vision for the sequels.
Yes, perhaps they had a vision, but just did a really bad job of it.
I mean, after all, they had two different writers. There's a whole mess right there.
Yes, Master, you're right.
Well, have I convinced you about the sequels yet?
No, not quite. I'm still not convinced about the way Luke tried to kill his nephew. I'm still not convinced to why Luke is just basically an old grumpy git, and Rey is a copy of Luke himself.
Well, I'll explain all three of those questions right now.
Oh, go on, I'd love to hear this.
The reason why Luke was shown almost trying to kill his nephew was out of fear and instinct.
No, I'm sorry, Luke would never do that.
It was a split fear for 1 second that had massive consequences.
Master, I'm sorry. It doesn't make sense to me. You're trying to tell me it makes sense that Luke would turn on his lightsaber for a second out of fear.
Skywalkers are known to act on their emotions, Obi-Wan.
Ugh, oh please.
Look at Anakin. He was afraid of losing Padme, and he slaughtered younglings and the entire Jedi Order.
Yes, but that was out of love.
And so is this. He's afraid that he will lose the one he loves. He's afraid that Ben will attack the ones he loves. He sees a vision of him killing Han Solo, and he sees a vision of him killing Leia.
Yes, but Luke was the man who saw good in Darth Vader. Why wouldn't he see good in Ben? It doesn't make any sense.
It's not that he doesn't see good in Ben, it's that he's choosing not to. He has given up on the Jedi.
But why would Luke give up being a Jedi over a tragedy? That's never happened before.
Well, he may not have decided not to be a Jedi anymore after a tragic decision, but he did decide to be a Jedi over a tragic decision when his Aunt May and uncle were decimated. That's what made him decide to be a Jedi in the first place, because he doesn't have anything anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry. I feel like you're just linking random facts together now.
It's all there, Obi-Wan.
Well, what about him being a grumpy git? How does that make sense?
He's upset with himself for failing the Jedi. The whole reason why he wanted to start a new Jedi Order in the first place is so that Order 66 would never happen again, and it has with his own nephew.
Well, what about Rey? Why is she a clone of Luke? It's so silly. Why can't she have been an original character?
Believe it or not, I like that she is a copy of Luke.
Oh, I believe it. I'm not surprised.
I like that she's a copy of Luke, because now she is a representation of Luke, and what he used to be. She is now the new hope that he used to be.
Oh, I see what you did there.
She's the one that makes Luke remember who he is, just like he makes Anakin remembers who he is, and brings Vader back to the light. She brings Luke back to the light.
Alright, fine. But explain to me, why is Anakin not in any of the movies? And I'm not gonna count a voiceover.
Anakin has a big role in the Force. He's now in the same position as the father was. He's balance of the Force.
Oh, you can't be serious. You're trying to tell me the reason he's not in the movies is because he's busy?
Yes, from a certain point of view.
I really like that word.
It's 4 words, Obi-Wan.
I have 4 words for you. I have the high ground on this one, Master. I personally believe that there is only the original trilogy and the prequels. After all, George Lucas agrees with me.
Oh, so now you care what George Lucas thinks.
I think he has some wild ideas, but I do respect him.
Yes, well, that we can agree on.
I do like Poe in the sequels.
Yes, me too.
Ah, but what about Finn? He was written really badly. I mean, for God's sake, all he shouts is Rey every 2 seconds.
That I agree on. I think Finn was the only character that was, well, badly written.
What about Leia? She never hugged Chewie after Han's death.
Well, they actually did in a deleted scene, but she did hug him in The Last Jedi, because that was actually a mistake that they made.
Oh, yes. Oh, alright.
But I think it still makes sense in canon why she doesn't hug Chewbacca first, and that's because Rey is new, so she's paying respect to Rey. Chewbacca is a lot stronger.
Alright, fine. Credit where credit is due. They did fix that.
In fact, in canon, which is actually canon, that, Leia actually sees Rey as a lost soul, like a daughter of her own.
Oh, is that why she calls herself Skywalker?
Well, that, and also to continue the legacy of the Skywalker. She wants to honor the legacy of the Skywalker name. Have I answered all your questions about the sequels, Obi-Wan?
Yes, Master. Perhaps you're right that they're not as bad as people say they are. However, I do generally believe that they could have been better received if they actually put more care and time into the movies.
Quite right. What's important is that we all stick together and respect everyone's opinions, because at the end of the day, we're all Star Wars fans, and that's all that matters. May the Force be with you, always.